A show created by the fans, for the fans. We are your home for Ohio State football coverage all year long. The Scarlet and Gray Podcast, a Network 216 production. Live weekdays on the Network 216 YouTube channel. Send us all your questions and comments on Twitter at VSG_podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Tyler Johnson, Jordan Dalton, and Nick Leisure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Ohio State versus Illinois game day preview. I am Tyler Johnson. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Nick Leisure is back. My man, how are you doing?
Doing great, man. Ready to talk about this top 25 matchup, and we got a little extra co-host with us today, too, I see.
Yeah, this is for everyone who we talked about our kids before, but this is Brantley's first time on the show. My wife is getting her nails done, so he is going to be joining me. It might involve me stepping away for a second, but he will be here. There's plenty to talk about before we get into this game day preview. If you guys would, go ahead, drop a like on YouTube. We really would appreciate that. Really helps push the show out to those who have not yet seen it on YouTube. But then also consider, if you listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go over, give us that 5-star review. Again, we really appreciate everyone that does that because, again, we had Michigan fans that still continuously actually give us just 1-star reviews, and it's tanked the rating. But we've gotten over 60 other reviews from people really liking the show, so thank you guys so much for that. Also, Brantley, you cannot grab the phone, my son. Also, for those wondering, I am recording this on my phone because, for whatever reason, my Wi-Fi decides to crash. So, a little spotty from time to time. Just know this is coming from my phone and not my phone, and I'm using my cell service, which isn't great either compared to Wi-Fi. But anyway, man, the Buckeyes are traveling to Illinois, ranked number 1. Illinois is ranked number 17 this season. They are traveling for another, I feel like, big noon kickoff to take on the Fighting Illini. First off, we kind of talked about it a little before the show began, but when you look at this Illinois team, what are some things that stick out to you?
I mean, obviously, they're they're super well coached. Luke Altmaier is obviously the captain of the ship. He is the engine that makes it go. They have a couple really good running backs that they seem to use a lot, both of. Defense is really solid, other than that Indiana game, which I think the Indiana game was kind of fluky. I mean, overall, they're definitely a tough team. This is probably going to be, other than Texas, obviously, Ohio State's toughest test they faced. I think they're better than Washington. So Champaign definitely can be a tough environment to play in. They have a good football team over there. So another start for Julian Sayin on the road. So we'll just see if he continues to build upon what he's done already this year. But yeah, I mean, I think they're a really well-coached team, and we really can't take them lightly, especially on the road.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think when you look at Illinois, you mentioned the Indiana game. That was a game I think we were all looking forward to, and they ran into a buzzsaw in Bloomington. I'm really curious to see how they come out against us because I know that was on the road, but they came out. They actually looked pretty decent, and then after that, it just went all downhill. But you kind of touched on it. Begins and ends with Luke Altmaier. He is the engine that makes this team go. He is this offense. And I would take it as far as to say if they don't have Luke Altmaier at quarterback, probably they're a mid-table team, if that. I really think he carries them that much. So Brett Bielema also, you kind of touched on it. I think he's a good coach. He was really good at Wisconsin. I mean, we know how good those Wisconsin football teams were.
Yeah.
Goes to the NFL, coaches for the New York Giants on their staff, comes back to college football and has really completely turned around Illinois. And I always like seeing programs like Illinois, like Indiana, these teams that normally historically are not very much contenders in the Big Ten playing well. So I love seeing that from Illinois. Just some key stats, I think, that are pretty interesting if you ask me. their offense is ranked 25th in the country. So again, a lot of that has to do with Luke Altmaier because in passing, they're 38th. Rushing, they're only 100th. They like to spread the ball around a little bit out of the backfield. They use 3 different running backs. Sometimes Luke Altmaier gets involved a little bit in the run game just to provide a different look, but you won't see him really take off a lot. But I will say, oh my, he has grabbed a plant and is trying to eat it. That's interesting. But anyway, he does not take off a lot, but I will tell people if you give him space and you don't necessarily have a spy on him, he can move a little bit.
Yeah.
So just something to keep in mind with Luke Altmaier. Total offense, they are 65th in the country. So their passing offense was 25th. That's where I got that confused. Overall,
Gotcha.
65th. Pretty, I would say mid-table, maybe a little bit above average on offense. But overall, I think if you contain Luke Altmaier in this game, you win this by 20 or more, is what I think personally. When you look at Illinois, who are some other players just that kind of stand out besides Luke Altmaier is the obvious one, of course, at quarterback. But who else kind of stands out to you?
I mean, Khalil Valentine, he's their sophomore running back. He's kind of the smaller, shiftier guy. And then you got Caden Fagan, who's their other running back, who is a complete opposite. He is a hoss back there. I mean, he's 6'3", 250. I mean, he is a big boy. They like to use him down in the red zone a lot and kind of get him touches. He's actually got the most carries out of the 3 running backs this year. He's got 79 carries for 316. So he's averaging 4 yards a pop, and he's got 5 touchdowns on the year. So they definitely like to use him, red zone, short yardage. But I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he is their like first and second down back, and then they bring in Khalil to kind of be the third down kind of scat back kind of guy. So obviously those 2 guys, and then Hank Beatty, he's their number 1 overall. He's their number 1 receiver, a 5'11", 185 senior. So just another guy. He's got how many catches? He's got 32 catches on the year already. So I mean, they like to. That's probably Altmaier's number 1 target when throwing the football down the field. So I mean, they got a couple other guys. 2 of their tight ends have both scored touchdowns this year so far. So I mean, he definitely likes to spread it around a little bit. But I think those 3 guys with the 2 running backs, then the number 1, Hank Beatty, I think those are probably the other 3 guys that I would look at to watch.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And Beatty, I mean, he is their main guy in the passing game. I mean, he just is. And I really want to see, is it more Jermaine Matthews, more Davis Igmanosin, Devin Sanchez, get a look at him. I think you could throw a bunch of different defenders at him. I want to see how he responds because he has not faced a secondary yet like Ohio State. And to be fair, there aren't many in college football.
Who there are
not. There really are not. Speaking of rankings, so on defense, this is where Illinois, I would say, is pretty weak. They're 72nd in scoring defense. They're 62 against the run. Against the pass, they're 113th, and their overall defense is 93rd. So I think in this game, if you're asking me what I want to see and what do I expect, I don't want to see what I saw against Washington, and I don't think we're going to, where we just run up the middle consistently 20 times. We won the game, and we were in control, but I know we were kind of like, man, just let it rip. Let it rip against this team. They're not great defensively. I'm expecting against Illinois them to do that because, again, that's the weakness of this football team. And some stats on Julian Sayin, man, that I just have to read because Illinois will try and blitz them. You're a young quarterback going on the road for a ranked matchup. They're going to blitz them. I don't know if I would recommend blitzing Julian Sayin. So this year, he is completing 78.6% of his passes. This is all when blitzed. 87.5 adjusted completion percentage. His quarterback rating, for this would translate over to the NFL if this was his NFL rating, 137.3. He has not been sacked. He has gotten 22 first downs. He's gotten the ball out in 2.5 seconds. 8 touchdowns and an average depth target of 9.1. So, let's Julian Sayin at your own risk.
Yeah.
It's just incredible, man, because think about what we lost on the offensive line as far as losing Donovan Jackson. A huge leader of this offensive line. You lost Will Howard, who was fantastic for the Buckeyes. I think you could make the argument we've almost upgraded in every single category, and it just doesn't seem like that's possible.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like you said, Sayan has been unbelievable to start the year. And this Illinois defense, they only have 2 interceptions on the year, so it's not like they're a bunch of ball hawks out there. And like we've talked about, we saw what Indiana did against them with Fernando. He went out there and just diced them up. So, and Indiana does not have the receiving core that the Buckeyes have coming into Champaign on Saturday. So I really look for more of the same result as that Indiana game. I think Ohio State's going to come in here and kind of just give it to them. And we started to see it a little bit last week against Minnesota. They're definitely starting to open up the playbook more. Sayan's getting more and more comfortable every week about taking shots down the field, and he's making smart and quick decisions. So I think we're going to see a lot of the same.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note, too, one thing Indiana had a lot of success with, of course, Mendoza shredded them. But the one thing Indiana does very well, and it's just the way Kurt Cignetti has his offense, there are a lot of RPOs. There are a lot of quick reads right away. Ohio State's been doing that a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more RPOs in this game than we've seen all year, just given how much Illinois struggled with that against Indiana. And Julian Sayin, of course, making those quick decisions, kind of like you mentioned. I think the other thing I really want to see, does Bo Jackson, we saw it against Minnesota, extensively. Yeah. Does Bo Jackson continue just to dominate this backfield? Because I've seen people on Twitter talk about, well, I don't really think Ohio State's going to lean towards one guy too much just because of the long season. But against Minnesota, dude, we saw him really control that backfield. I've said this. I think he needs 20 touches per game at a minimum. I know he's a true freshman, and you don't want to wear him down. But every time he touches the football, it seems like he's either making a big play, he's making something out of nothing. I feel like you can't get him the ball enough. What are your thoughts on Bo Jackson, just how they're incorporating him into this offense?
Yeah, I think they're definitely trying to gradually increase his workload every week. Because, I think everyone in the building knows that Bo Jackson is RB1. But like you've said, and like how people on the outside have said, you don't want to wear him out. He is a true freshman. It's a long season. All these guys, all the backups, they're one play away. And I think with Ohio State, you have a three-headed monster. We really haven't seen it with James Peoples that much. He's been kind of underwhelming to start the year. But I feel like he just hasn't really gotten the touches to really make that big of an impact. And then C.J. Donaldson, I think he's still trying to get comfortable in this offense. It's a different scheme from West Virginia, new offense, new offensive line, new quarterback to hit mesh points with. I think he's still really just trying to get his footing still, because when he gets the ball, it just kind of seems that he doesn't have great vision running the football for the Buckeyes quite yet. But I agree with you. I think Bo Jackson is, he's electric when he touches the ball. Even, it's a 5-yard gain or a 15-yard gain. You can see that he's got that juice to him, and that he's going to make plays when he gets the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I've been a big fan for a while, and even when he first started getting carries against Grambling, I was like, okay, he needs to be involved more. It's kind of crazy how quickly the depth chart has changed, but I am encouraged that they are going with the best player and not necessarily going with the guys that have the most experience. The one thing about Donaldson, and then we'll move on just to kind of the spread in our picks. The thing about Donaldson, man, I'll admit that just kind of annoys me, and I've seen other people talk about it too. I've never seen a guy that's classified as a power back just struggle so much to get a yard or two. It just seems he is not that true power back that they brought him in to be. And hopefully, again, like you said, he does get better as the season progresses. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get to a point where Bo Jackson is the main guy in this backfield and maybe Donaldson is in at goal line and that's it. I even really like him in at goal line because I think Bo Jackson even gives you more juice then. Because when Donaldson comes in, especially when it's 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1, whatever it might be. I kid you not, I just am like, we're gonna get stuffed here because it seems like he just lacks that ability to really get through the defensive line, even with a good push from the offensive line. But anyway, all right. Last time I checked, and that was yesterday, and it could have changed. So if it did, you can let me know. Ohio State was favored in this game by 13.5 on the road. They're going to Champaign, big noon kickoff. I believe it's one of the first times Illinois has hosted a ranked Big Ten team on big noon in a while. I could be wrong. Again, I don't have my internet, so I don't have a way of pulling that up. But anyway, Buckeyes are favored by 13.5. First off, do you think that they cover that, and what is your score prediction in this game?
So it's actually up. They're favored by 14.5 now, so it went up by a point.
Ooh,
so
okay, interesting.
Touchdowns.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think they hammer this spread. I think they cover pretty easily. I think the Buckeyes roll into Champaign. I'm going to say, I mean, this Buckeye defense hasn't given up double-digit points yet, and I think that continues. I think Buckeyes come in and roll 45-6. I think Illinois has to kick 2 field goals early. But yeah, I think 45-6, man. I think they take care of business on the road, and they really give Illinois a whooping. Get that Illabuck.
Okay, you know what? I love the score there. Now, would you say, because some people might say, man, that's quite a scoreline to beat the 17th ranked team in the country by that much. Is that more just because of how good Ohio State is, or is that Illinois being overrated?
I think it's a combination of both. I think this secondary that Altmaier's going to play against on Saturday is just one that he hasn't seen yet. Caleb Downs is just a completely different animal than anyone in the country. I do think that Altmaier throws his first interception of the year in this game. I just think the Buckeyes defense and Patricia he's going to have them boys ready. They're going to have some schemes that Altmaier's not even going to know what he's looking at times. So, yeah, I think it is a combination of both. I think Illinois is a little overrated, but I also think this Buckeye defense is just the real deal.
Yeah. Well, I like it, so I'm going to agree. They're going to cover as well. And another stat about the Buckeye defense that's incredible is the defense has yet to give up a red zone touchdown, and we are nearly halfway through the season, which is just incredible, on top of the fact they haven't given up double-digit points this year. So I got the Buckeyes in this game too. I'm going to say they get 9 points, though, Illinois, because I do think there'll be a couple times where they're able to drive it down the field, and Bielema might want to go for it on 4th down, but at the same time, you know how good the Buckeye defense has been in the red zone, and you just settle for the points. And it'll be early, because I agree with you too. I think if they score, it's early, because then Ohio State normally settles down. That's still the one thing about the Buckeyes, and we've seen it through the years under Ryan Day. Man. Yeah, we come out slow. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't. Other times we do. And this is a game where I feel like that could be the case. And so I have the Buckeyes. I have 35-9 because I would love to see us get over 40 points. I just don't know if it's going to happen, because I feel like once they get the lead, Ryan Day is more going to establish the run. He'll try and establish it early, but I wouldn't be shocked to see a couple shots in this game in the first quarter, and really try and stretch that lead before halftime, and then use Bo Jackson, Donaldson, and seal it with the run game. But either way, I think the streak continues. No double-digit points given up, and no red zone touchdowns. So it'll be a fun game, man. I'm really excited. I know I have some family at this game that are going to be going to this game, so it should be a good one. Back on big noon kickoff. Woo! I know we're all thrilled about that. But before we wrap it up, man, is there anything else you wanted to add?
I don't think so, man. Just got to take care of business. Keep stacking dubs.
Absolutely. It's the name of the game. Number 1 team in the country. We're always going to have the bullseye on our back. So it's going to be a fun game. Before we wrap it up, if everyone would just take a second, drop a like on the video. Again, we really appreciate that support on YouTube. And then the big important one, I would say, go give us that 5-star review. Can you hold up 5 fingers, buddy? No? Okay. Give us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate that. Prove to Michigan fans who really are the best fans in the land by going over, giving us a 5-star review, and boost that rating up. Again, they tanked it. We want to get it back. But anyway, appreciate you guys tuning into this Ohio State versus Illinois game day preview. We will talk to you all next week. As always, go Buckeyes. Go Buckeyes. Go Buckeyes.